Look at this desk. It's covered in blueprints, annotated drafts, and late-night revisions. It's the aftermath of someone obsessing over a brilliant idea. According to research by Harvard Business School's Robert Kaplan and David Norton, 9 out of 10 business strategies fail because of poor execution. Furthermore, 6 out of 10 of the employees polled report their companies cannot successfully transform strategy into action. A vision only becomes valuable when it's transformed into commercial reality. Without practical utility and a clear market, even the most brilliant idea is useless. We spend months trying to design the perfect plan, but that obsession with perfecting the idea is often the exact mechanism that kills the project before it ever reaches the real world. This creates a state of paralysis. You have the plan, but you're staring at the starting line, entirely unable to move. When projects stall, management and individuals alike usually point to a lack of resources.
They claim they lack the time, or the necessary budget, or the personnel to finish properly. This leads to the hamster wheel effect. We fill our days with futile activity, emails, meetings, and minor adjustments that feel like work but keep us entirely stationary in space. Resource scarcity is rarely the true bottleneck. The real failure is allowing your entire life to pass by default while waiting for the perfect conditions to arrive. Execution is plain hard work. It requires you to operate entirely outside of your personal comfort zone. As the text here explains, the first step is often the most frightening, but it's also the most crucial, and as the author notes, there's no wrong way to start. Look at the etymology of passion described here. It derives from the Latin root pati, meaning suffering. At this level, passion is a visceral pain that a sufferer feels compelled to solve or suppress. You will need that drive, because the straight line to success inevitably runs into a ditch. You have to be a zigzag expert, ready to find a new path the moment your current one is blocked. This requires a growth mindset. As the text explains, resilient entrepreneurs view even the worst setbacks as valuable learning and growth opportunities rather than permanent reversals. The engine of execution is fueled by this willingness to suffer for a vision and the flexibility to adapt to the obstacles that follow. Resilience keeps you on track, but it doesn't automatically solve the problem of limited capital or hours. You need an analytical strategy to navigate those finite constraints. This is where the Pareto principle serves as the ultimate strategic filter for execution. The math is simple but severe. Roughly 80% of your results will come from just 20% of your efforts. Most of what we do has almost no impact on the final outcome. This defines the critical few. In any project, a small number of tasks matter a lot, while the vast majority matter very little to the end result. Trying to accomplish everything on your list is actually detrimental. It feeds the hamster wheel instead of driving the project forward. True execution isn't about working harder on every task. It's about aggressively eliminating the trivial 80% so you can focus exclusively on the 20% that moves the needle. Almost everyone has a vision, but very few have the framework required to realize it. Without that framework, effort is wasted. As this crowd illustrates, movement in many different directions simultaneously is not progress, it is chaos. This list of traits marks the definitive boundary line. Execution is what separates the dreamers from the doers, because it is the only mechanism that produces real, tangible results. By intentionally studying what matters most, you reduce the hours and capital wasted on trivial tasks, while ensuring your efforts translate into measurable progress. Take your vision and write it on paper today. Commit it to a list of checkpoints so you can prioritize the immediate steps needed to bring it to life. Identify your critical 20% and take that first step immediately. Ideas without execution simply die.